If you own property in California and you're thinking about renting it or buying an investment property, you need to watch this video on AB 1482 here in California. We're going to talk about which properties are subject to AB 1482 and which ones are exempt from AB 1482. We're going to talk about how much landlords can increase rent and when they can terminate a tenancy, and whether or not you're going to owe relocation assistance to that tenant. And stick around to the end because we're going to answer one of the most common questions that people have on AB 1482, and that is, what if I miss the deadline to give the tenant my paperwork? And I'm going to give you a link to a sample form that you can download. So if you're a landlord, and whether you knew it or not, you were required to give your tenant a copy of the exemption on January 1st, 2020. So AB 1482 actually has two provisions. One is rent caps, and the other is related to just cause eviction. Specifically, that means when can a landlord terminate a lease or a tenancy, and whether or not relocation assistance is owed. Now, I do have to put the disclosure in there, I'm not an attorney or a tax accountant. You also need to keep in mind that there may be local rent control provisions that override the state provisions depending on how it's written. Basically, the way the rule is written, it goes with whatever is stricter. So if your local jurisdiction or city has a stricter rent control ordinance than AB 1482, that's the one that stays in effect. You definitely want to make sure you understand and know your local rent control rules, especially in East Palo Alto, which has its own rent control ordinance. Watch my other video on East Palo Alto rent control.